Welcome to episode 17 of Little Bobbins Knits. My name is Dani and you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Little Bobbins. We have a Ravelry group and it'd be lovely if you came and joined. You can find that by searching Little Bobbins Knits, and show notes for the podcast can be found at littlebobbins.co.uk. So thank you so much for being here today. I know we're a couple of days late and I honestly don't know why that is. I'm just still having that can't quite catch up with myself time. But I thought I'd podcast today instead. I have treats here for Bobbin because he's having a terrible couple of days. We have a dog guest who we're looking after, the same one. She's such a lovely dog, but Bobbin, he's a spoiled little thing. So he's not happy with the company, are you, Bobbin? And he had to go to the vets yesterday because he's got a tiny little ear infection. So he's feeling extremely sorry for himself. So I've got a couple of treats for him. And if there's food around, he can't relax. He's a little gannet. It was brought to my attention that some people are still having issues with the sound. It's not quite loud enough for them. And I just wanted to let you know that I'm hoping that I will be able to sort that out very soon. So yeah, thank you for letting me know, and I'm really hoping I can get something sorted out. I'm not particularly technologically minded, so I hope it'll work, but I have a plan, so I'll keep my fingers crossed. You good boy. Give him another little treat, and then that's the end of it, and he can just relax. Should we do high five? Oh, you're so good. Good boy. So, thank you ever so much for being here today. I hope you've had a really lovely week. I'll just show him that the bowl's empty. Yeah. I've noticed some new people have subscribed on YouTube, so welcome, and we've got some new members in the group, so welcome to you too. And thank you very much if you've introduced yourself. It's always lovely to get to know you a little bit more, but please don't think it's a requirement because I'm not very good at doing stuff like that. But it's really lovely if you want to. So today I've got some works in progress to show you, some finished objects. Bobbin's face is in front of my notes. Some lovely things. We have a bit of a chat about the little along, and I'll mention the cup cozy swap, which is getting a bit closer to beginning, which is very exciting. You're a good boy. I have another lovely cup of tea from Anya today. Mango lassi chai rooibos, maybe? Let's give it a try. I haven't tried it yet because it's been too hot. Ooh, very nice, but it's still too hot. Might have burnt my lip a smidge. So, works in progress. Bobbin, are you going to lie down because you're in a very awkward place there? Oh, he just wants to be stroked and cuddled and mollycoddled and told that he's wonderful, don't you, Bobbin? You are, you're wonderful. Yeah. Wonderful little delicate boy. In my lovely bag from Anna, a Speckles on Ravelry with the Speckles Big Cartel shop, I have recently started a new hat. It's in the yarn I showed you a few episodes ago, the Rowan Felted Tweed. I think this is the clay colourway, 177. I think it's really soft, but I was reading on Ravelry people's, you know, in the yarns you can look at the comments people have made about the yarns, and lots of people said it was really scratchy, and when my mum felt it, she thought it was really scratchy. So I'm not sure that I'm the best judge of soft or scratchy, because it's not scratchy to me at all. I think it's because back when I was little, Mum used to put me in the scratchiest mohair jumpers ever. I used to be so sensitive to them that I'd have to wear a polo neck, and I can't wear those now. I've got a complete block with those. I feel so claustrophobic with anything around my neck now, and it sounds terrible, doesn't it? But yeah, she'd make me wear these mohair jumpers that she had knitted, and I feel so bad for being so anti them at the time, because she'd knitted them with so much love, but I think in the long term it's meant I'm not as sensitive anymore. So yes, I am knitting the Into Trees hat by Hannah Massajuska. I've only just started. Let me find the picture of the hat. It's in this pom-pom magazine, winter 2014. Oh, it's this hat. And I just think it's lovely. I'm not honestly entirely sure whether it's going to work in this yarn, because that yarn looks like it has a bit more body to it, and this yarn, although it's called DK, it's extremely fine. It seems more 4-ply weight to me, but I don't know. And I didn't swatch, obviously, as I don't. But yeah, I've just, I did a twisted German cast on, which was fun. I haven't tried that one before. I got to use my new cast on bind off book. It seems pretty good and stretchy, which was the purpose of using that cast on. And yeah, I'm only a little way in. I've actually stopped because I'm not enjoying using these needles very much. They're just very, very cheap needles, and they're fine for a lot of things, like plain knitting, they're absolutely fine, but this has got cables, and then I'm about to do a stitch where you go into a stitch a couple of rows below, and they're just not pointy enough to make that a nice fluid process. So I'm either going to put the hat on magic loop, which I don't really like. I don't like knitting hats on magic loop, or I'm going to have to order some high sharps in this size. I think it'll probably be the latter option, because I've got a couple of hats that I know I want to knit that are also knit on the same size that this requires, so I think I'll do that, probably do that today. But yeah, I'm enjoying working this hat, and I do love cables. They've got a real compulsive feeling to them for me. I just really like getting to the next cable twist, and in this pattern you don't have to wait very long because it seems to have a cable every other row, so really fun one to do. I'm enjoying that, and I can't wait to see what it looks like. I'm really hoping that it works in that yarn, because the yarn's, for me, really, really soft, and it's just going to be really, really warm and cosy. So I'm enjoying that project. Oh, my second project in my big jumper bag. I'm loving this one too. This is the Susu by Nora Garn. There's currently a knit along for this going on in the Loop London Ravelry group, so I thought I would join in because it's the most detailed. Yeah, I think it's the most detailed garment I've ever knit. It's got a lot of cables and textured stitches, and it's very oversized. And because of all those differences with the garments that I've knit before, I thought it would be great to get in and do it with the knit along, just in case there's anything that comes up that's a bit tricky. But this is how far I've got so far, using my lovely little stitch markers from the Wool Barn. They're so pretty. And I'm just loving this. I love that twisted cable, or the cable is made up of, no, that doesn't make sense. The stitches of the cable are twisted, which gives a really nice, interesting effect. Oh, and I love it. Double moss stitch at the sides. I really love this jumper. This is the back, and it's very big, but I'm so paranoid that it's going to be too small. I swatched. I took guidance from the thread about which size to do, but I'm really worried it's not going to be the really oversized jumper that I'm hoping for, and I'm not quite sure what to do about it, because it could just be that I'm being paranoid. I think I'll carry on with it. Yeah. It's always a bit difficult to tell how big things are on the needles, isn't it? So maybe I should just put it on a piece of waste yarn so that I can see how big it's actually going to be. I haven't got any sort of oversized jumper that I can compare it to. Not sure. But I love it so much and I can't wait to wear it, so very excited about that. I'm using Old Maiden Aunt Blueface Leicester Superwash DK in the greyish colourway, and I'm really enjoying this yarn. It's nice and bouncy and just beautiful. I'm alternating my skeins, which is another thing that I've never done before because I haven't knit a whole garment in hand-dyed yarn. So that's also a new experience, which is really, I think it's pretty fun. And you can see the sort of, you can still see the little flashes of the darker colours throughout. Oh, I'm in love with this jumper. Really love it. So yes, that's my second work in progress. Got a long way to go on that. You'll probably see that for quite a while. That amount of work was just done in sort of a couple of bursts because it's a difficult one to put down once you've picked it up, because it's really fun and you just want to get to that next cable twist, and the ones in that, the cable twists in that pattern come a lot more rows apart than they do in the hat, so you have to do a few more rows. And it's a good pattern to do while you're watching a film or whatever, because you can see what you're supposed to be doing from the row below, and I love patterns like that where you don't have to be reading the pattern all the time. You can just be looking at your knitting and working out what you need to do next. So I'm so excited to have finally started that because I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it on Ravelry. Yeah, love that. Can't wait to wear it. I just hope it suits me. I'm not sure if it will. I've been thinking about tops to wear under it actually, and this is what has been happening this week. I've been doing more in my head knitting than real life knitting, I think, because I've been thinking about all of the things that I want to knit. Bobbin! Oh look! Oh, it's a bobbin! So I was thinking about what top I would wear under that, and I found a lovely pattern called, I think it's the Beekeeper's Tank. I thought that would be really lovely to wear under that. I'll link it in the show notes. It's a really nice plain tank, what do I call these sorts of tops? It's just sort of like a strapless vest top, and it's got no shaping, so it would be quite loose, going with the theme of the nice oversized jumper. And then it's just got some a honeycomb cable across the top here, which sort of brings it all in and makes it fitted at the top. I thought that would look nice under that jumper. I've also been sort of mentally knitting the water lily Melody from Bee Mandarines. I don't know if you saw her podcast last week. It's a really lovely podcast. I'll put links to it in the show notes. And she was wearing a water lily, which was in a pom-pom magazine a little while back. I can't remember which issue it was, but I have that issue and I've wanted to knit that top for ages. And hers looked so beautiful. It was just perfect. So I've been knitting that in my head as well, trying to work out what colour to use for that. Melody used drops, baby alpaca silk. So I think I'll use the same yarn. I've got my eye on a greeny colour, so I think I might have to knit that. And I've also been knitting The Old Romance by Joji Locatelli. Deb Tink Hickman on Instagram and Ravelry. I always love everything she knits, and she is knitting that cardigan at the moment, and it's just lovely. I've seen the cardigan before and I've thought, oh, that looks interesting, because it's the one where you start with the lace panels up the arm and then you sort of construct the cardigan around that. But Deb's been showing hers and I've been falling a little bit more in love with it every single time she's shown it. And I just think it will look beautiful. So, yes, I might have to cast that on as well. I have some yarn in my stash. I'm not sure it's the... Deb's also using the Drops Baby Alpaca Silk, and I have some of that yarn in my stash. I'm not sure they're colours that I would have put together if I'd bought the yarn for that actual project. But I might knit it anyway, because it would be good to use some stash, and I still think I'd wear it. Anyway, so that was that's what's been going on in my head, so sorry about that. Just tangent mental knitting diatribe that goes on in my head all the time. Just came out then. So, finished objects. So this is my first finished object. You good boy. Oh, you're so lovely. I finished my canopy. Good boy. By Melody, who is Bee Mandarines on Instagram and Mandarines on Ravelry. She has the lovely blog and podcast, and she has a Ravelry group, and they're actually doing a knit along for this shawl in her Ravelry group at the moment. So if you're thinking of knitting it, go over and join in with that knit along. Such a lovely pattern. I'm just thrilled with it. Oh, and it smells of jasmine eucalyptus, which I just can't get enough of. It's so lovely. So yeah, lovely lacy portions, nice stocking stitch bits, and then that beautiful edging that is what I fell in love with when I first saw this shawl. Made me know I wanted to knit it. Oh, I love it. And blocking, doesn't blocking just bring things to life? I used my blocking wires with this. I threaded 2 along the top, and then I threaded another 2 down this row, and then I pinned out each of the points separately. So the blocking wires worked really well. Oh, I need to sneeze. I've managed to lose my T-pins that I use for blocking somehow. They're usually one of the things that I put back in the right place because I never want to lose them. But I've managed to lose them and I have absolutely no clue where they might be. But luckily I had some other pins that I used for this one. And I knit this out of Old Maiden Aunt, what was it, Alpaca Silk Sport Weight in the Pumpkin Pie colourway. And I love this yarn. I used about 130 grams of that yarn. So yeah, really thrilled with that. Oh, it's beautiful. Good boy. Bobbin's just lying here in front of the camera. He's seen where I've stashed the bag of treats. Every so often he'll just look over surreptitiously at the corner of his eyes, thinking, I'm keeping an eye on you. You're not going anywhere, bag of treats. Is it? You'll know, won't you, Bobby? My second finished object, and this, I blocked 2 days ago, and it's still wet, which is very annoying. I think that's one of the reasons I put off filming on Monday, because I thought, I blocked it on Sunday and I thought it would be dry by Monday, and it wasn't. And so I thought, oh, I'll podcast tomorrow. because it will be dry by then, and it wasn't. And then we had the whole bobbin vet incident, and it's still not dry today, but I just thought I can't keep waiting, so I might show it you again next week on, because I can't put it on now because it's wet and I don't want to stretch out this band. But this is the Sephora hat by Woolly Wormhead. This was the mystery knit along that Woolly Wormhead did at the end of last year. I saw it on Amy from Hudson Valley Knits. She'd knit this hat and I just thought it was beautiful, so I had to knit it. I didn't actually knit it in the mystery knit along. Oh, which reminds me, must mention something else. But yes, this one's finished. I knit quite a lot actually. I think I was about here. Was I? Yeah, about here maybe. And we went to football on Saturday and I took it along to that, and I really got back in the swing of it, so I really felt like finishing it after just doing those few rows at football. I was knitting it on a 16-inch high sharp, 2.5mm, and it was feeling just so, I think because the stitches are so tiny, it was just feeling very tight, and there was enough knitting to go round the needle. It wasn't like I was having to pull it, but because the stitches were so tiny, it just felt really tight and uncomfortable to knit. So when I got home from football, I put it on 2 circulars, one for each side. I tried it on magic loop, but I just do not like magic loop for hats. I just find it really cumbersome and awkward. And so I put it on 2 circulars. And that's not my favourite either. I much prefer just using the 16-inch. But in this case, the 2 circulars really made a difference, and I was able to get through the knitting so much quicker than when it was on that short needle. So I'm really pleased with this. I really hope it fits okay. I was a bit worried about the blocking because it's a superwash. I didn't want it to stretch too much. Hopefully it won't have. But this is Madeline Tosh Sock in the vintage sari colourway, and I love it. It's that yarn. Just gorgeous colours. It bled quite a lot when I washed it, which made me very glad that I didn't block my shawl and this together, because sometimes I might do that. I haven't cut my ends off yet because I don't usually do that until after I've finished blocking. Actually, with hats I sometimes don't even cut the ends off, but anyway, so yeah, I was glad I didn't block them together because there was a bit of bleeding. My last finished object, oh, that tea's lovely. My last finished object is for the little along. I don't know if you remember, I said that one of the things I really wanted to do for the little along was make a little bird of happiness out of this lovely yarn that I got from Sarah, who's Love Sock Wool, in a sock yarn swap that we did for our sock scraps blankets. And so I did. That's the best way to show you this. Oh, it's so cute. So this is the Blue Bird of Happiness by Sarah Elizabeth Kellner, I think. Just move bobbin. Yes, Sarah Elizabeth Kellner. This little Blue Bird of Happiness bobbin. And it's really lovely. Oh, it's really awkward to show. So I used 2.25mm needles. That tail's supposed to go up a bit, I think. And it was a really lovely, quick little knit. Put a little loop on for hanging. Yeah, and it was just really simple. It's there are some wraps and turns in there, but you don't go and pick them up if the wrapping and turning and then picking up the wraps puts you off. You don't pick them up at all. They actually are a bit of a design feature in there. I don't know if you can see that. I did have to rip the head off and knit it again because I knit it on a bit wonky, but that was fine. I stuffed it with some polyfill and some lavender, and if you're going to knit one this small, remember that you have to stuff it before it says to stuff it in the pattern. I'm sure you will, but I forgot, and that's another one of the reasons that it was quite useful that I had to rip the head off, because in the pattern you just stuff it through the beak stitches that you then gather up. But no, you need to stuff it before you've put the head on. Before I put the head on, I stuffed the body with some polyfill and lavender, and then before I started decreasing, I stuffed a bit more into the head, and yeah, so it got all stuffed and lovely. It smells good. This one is for my mum, and I sent her a picture of it and said, I made you something. And her reply was, oh, I love it. I'll need at least 4 more. If you've watched before, you'll know that that's not an unexpected response, because she loves the little things that I make and wants a whole collection of them. So yeah, I wasn't surprised to get that, but it did make me laugh. So that's all my finished objects, and I've just realised that you may have noticed that there was a work in progress missing. My Follow Your Arrow 2 shawl. So I've ripped it out. The thing I really love about mystery knit-alongs is the mystery part of them. I don't like seeing any spoilers. I like to knit them as soon as I get the clues, and I just really enjoy finding out what's going to happen in the shawl when I'm actually knitting it. And because I had been too busy to make time to knit the shawl and was behind, and I kept seeing spoilers everywhere, and I just lost interest, and I just couldn't bring myself to knit it anymore. Now that I knew what it was, I might as well have just knit a shawl pattern that I had seen the finished object of, because I'd seen so many pictures, and so it wasn't a mystery anymore, and that's the part I love. So I just thought, I won't do it. So next time there is a mystery knit along, I shall clear my calendar so that I can do the whole mystery bit, and it can be a surprise. But I'll still be interested to see what all of the finished shawls look like, because I do love Isolde's ones where you can pick the different clues because of all the different combinations people come up with. And it's really interesting this time because there are options to use more than one colour, but that's not written into the pattern necessarily, so it's really interesting to see where people are adding different colours. But yes, I just thought I should confess that is no longer a work in progress. The yarn has been reskeined and it's back into stash. So, lovely things. I got a really lovely package, a really lovely surprise package this week from Molly of A Homespun House, who was just lovely. She sent me some fantastic minis, which I'm very excited to knit into my blanket. Is that Molly's teacup, Molly? Because if it is, I might actually combust with excitement. Looks like Molly's teacup. But yeah, they're so lovely and I'm very excited to knit them in. Oh, that one's really fun too. Ooh. So that was an extremely exciting thing to receive. She also sent me a little bluebird of happiness, which is very exciting because that means I'll get to keep one. So I'm going to hang this up somewhere in here. It's a really, really thoughtful package. She also sent me this. which is just beautiful. Her embroidery is just so neat. So I'm going to put that up in here as well, because I'm in here every day and it would be a lovely thing to see every day. Really, really lovely. And she also sent some prizes for the Little Along, which is very exciting. So she sent some of the lovely little wooden brooches that she's doing in her shop, her homespun house, and some of the little progress keepers. So she sent a bow one. They've all got little cupcakes with them. She said I could keep one. And there's a pink bow. And then there's one of the little trees with a red bird. And this is the one I'm going to keep, but it's hidden behind the label. One of the little trees with the blue bird. And I thought I'd keep that one because it reminds me of Molly with the little blue bird of happiness in the tree. So I thought that was so sweet. She sent me some other little bits which are very special. So thank you so much, Molly. You just completely unexpected and wonderful package. Thank you so much. Another lovely thing. Lovely Sarah, whose yarn is fun, we did a sock scraps swap, and I got her minis in the post. These actually came just as I finished podcasting last week, so I've saved them to show you. Look at that tweedy watermelon goodness, and I love these sparkly. That's white sparkly and then a purple sparkly one. But yeah, they're fantastic. Really nice. So thank you so much, Sarah. I can start knitting them into my blanket now. I've shown them on here. Very exciting. And I did buy a couple of things as well. I'm trying not to buy stuff. As I mentioned a few episodes ago, I'd quite like to start knitting from my stash a bit more instead of just buying yarn and hoarding it. But I don't know about you, but when I'm feeling a bit not quite right, I buy things. So I've been buying things. One thing I had to buy because Maya from the Wool Barn had an update, and she has been dyeing these fantastic speckled yarns. Her update was just incredible. It was beautiful. She had gorgeous self-striping, gorgeous tweed yarns, and the things that I got this skein of speckled yarn. And I'd started knitting this into socks, but it just wasn't working for the pattern how I wanted. It wasn't a good pattern yarn combo, so I've ripped that out. I'll have a think about a pattern that will work better. I wanted to knit the pennycrest socks. I wanted to knit some of them for me. They're the ones that I knit for Mum for her birthday, the white ones. And they worked really well in that yarn, I think because it's sort of a fluffy Angora and merino. It's worked really well in that yarn, but it didn't work in the speckled yarn because the superwash merino is gives a much more defined stitch, and yeah, just wasn't a good combo. So I'll have a think about what I'm going to use that yarn for. And I also got this skein of speckle. Maya's card. I just think it's beautiful. It's got sort of purpley touches. Really lovely. And as always with Maya's orders, it came in a gorgeous little bag. I love these bags. Whenever you buy from the Wool Barn, it's always like opening a present because of the way Maya wraps it all, and it's just beautifully presented. I just love it. So yeah, I was really thrilled to get those. Some other bits that I got I saw on Instagram, that great enabler that it is, Nicole C. Mendez was selling some mini skeins. And so I had to get some of those, didn't I? Because, according to Kay of the Bakery Bears, mini skeins don't count on a yarn diet. And I'm not on a proper yarn diet, but if mini skeins don't count on a yarn diet, then I'm fine, aren't I? So thanks for that, Kay. I like that justification. But these are the minis from Nicole C. Mendez. I love how different they all are. This is her card. She's on Etsy. Oh, there it is. But yeah, they're all fantastically different. I actually have this skein of yarn, or one with these colours in, which is very exciting. And so there's sort of, they're just wildly different, which is just fantastic, because that's what you want in mini skeins, isn't it? You want them to be all completely different. I love that one. I'd quite like to knit David a pair of socks in that, so I might keep an eye out on the shop, see if she does a big skein with that sort of colour combo. I don't think Nicole does any yarns that are repeatable, that are self-striping. I think she does for her solids, but not the self-striping ones. So you just have to look out in the shop and grab the ones you like, because they might never be in there again. Well, that's my reasoning anyway. But yeah, I really love that. So they're very, very fun. I also got another yarny thing, but I'll show you that in a second. I also got some non-yarn things. Coop Knits Socks Volume 2. I pre-ordered this, and because I've got the first one and I've got Rachel Coopy's Toasty book, so I really wanted this one as well. And the socks are just gorgeous. When I'm feeling like I've got some brain power, I definitely want to knit some. I really love this pair. Can you see how the, I don't know if I'll be able to show you, how the twisted stitches sort of open up and then there's the little cable inside. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I love the detail in Rachel Coopy's socks. They're not always ones that I feel like knitting, because they do take concentration, and a lot of the time I really like socks to be simple and portable, and I don't really want to take a pattern with me and all of that stuff. But for the times when I'm feeling like I'd like a bit of a challenge, you can't beat her socks, I don't think. That one's lovely as well. Yeah, they're brain challengers. They're really pretty. But yeah, beautiful socks. Don't know how many patterns are in them. I love the colours that she's used in this one as well. I think 12 pairs. Really lovely. And I also got the most recent issue of Pom Pom magazine, which I love. If you heard that, that's Bobbins scratching. He's now scratching the desk. He's having a mini tantrum, but I'm not giving him any more treats. You a big baby? Big baby bear. But yes, this Pom Pom magazine is really lovely. There are a couple of things that I'm very eager to knit. I love that cardigan. And I really love this top. I think that's so beautiful. And there's a pair of socks that I really want to knit in here as well. I wonder if I'll be able to find them. Ah, there they are. They're so pretty. Hello, baby. So, yeah, really lovely issue. I need to have a proper read through it because I haven't had a chance yet. Just saw some knitted licorice all sorts. Ooh, that's very exciting. So they're my new lovely knot yarn things, and I also got some more lovely yarn. Now, I haven't ordered from this shop before. The shop is called Felt Fusion on Etsy, and the dyer dyes under the name Den of Yarniquity. And the reason I found this shop, I can't remember how I found the shop actually, but I saw that she was having a yarn club type thing where it's not a yarn club that you sign up to for a number of months. It's just one that you can dip into any month that you feel like. And the yarn club for February was, you could send her a link to an 80s song on YouTube, or an 80s music video on YouTube, and she would dye you the yarn based on that music video. And I just thought that idea was amazing. I thought that was so exciting. So I had to. And one of my favourite 80s songs is the Pet Shop Boys' It's a Sin. I love that song. I don't know what it is about that song, but it's just one of my absolute favourites. And so I sent her the links to 2 different videos. The official music video, which had it was very much blacks and golds and bronze and very, very dark colours. And I also sent her a video to one of them performing live, and that was also blacks, but it had neon lights flashing, and she chose to go with that one. I said I don't mind which, they're both frankly a bit out of my comfort zone, but I'm excited to see what you do. And she used the live version, and it is perfect. It is so perfect. Gobsmacked. I just think it's brilliant. So yes, this is her interpretation of the live video of Pet Shop Boys' It's a Sin. It's on her sparkle sock base, so there's silver stellina in there, and I'm just so excited by it. Isn't that a fun concept for a yarn club? I just think that's brilliant. It's so much fun because you sort of get involved in the dyeing process in so much as you're giving her colour inspiration, but on a theme, because yeah, I just love it. I thought it was brilliant. And I have ordered another one. I ordered this a few weeks ago. I ordered this in the beginning of January, so I was very excited that this came. See, I'm too excited. Calm down. I ordered another one from her as well, based on another of my favourite 80s songs by my favourite band, I think, of all time. So I'm very, very excited for that to arrive. I can't wait to see what she does with that one. It's just so exciting. But yeah, I'm thrilled with that. Not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, because I think it will need to stay in the scheme for a while. I love it. But when I was ordering that one, I also ordered another one from her shop. And this isn't my normal sort of yarn either. It's so bright, isn't it? I just thought it was beautiful. It's called Chakra. And I think at that moment in time I wanted a little bit of chakra healing, so I thought I'd do that in the form of buying yarn. But yeah, that's beautiful as well. Really, really impressed. Obviously I have to see what it's like when I knit with it and wash it, but initially completely thrilled with these purchases. I think they're just fantastic. So that's all of my lovely things. What else did I have to tell you about? The Little Along. So hopefully you've heard about the Little Along. Zena and I, Little Yellow Uke, are hosting a joint knit along where you knit something little. And I've been looking through the threads, and the things people have knit are wonderful. People have knit some things for little people and little toys and just lovely projects. I've been really excited. Some people are using it as a chance to work on their sock yarn blankets, barn raising squares or the mitered squares. Hexie puffs. I still haven't knit hexie puff. I will at some point, but these things, they just come and overtake me, and it's once I've sort of surrendered to the fact that I'm actually going to knit something, I'm okay with it then, and I can wait a little while. Completely crazy, I know. But yes, the things that people are knitting are just wonderful and really, really fun. So a few people have knit the little toe rag the tube mouse, I think it's called. So cute. I think I might have to knit one of those. Just an adorable little mouse. So yeah, do have a look on the thread and enter your little things if you would like to. I need to update the page with the prizes because we've got lots of prizes. We have the lovely brooches and progress keepers from Molly of A Homespun House. Lovely Lena from A Wee Bit Knitty podcast has offered us one of her Bertine sock patterns, which is a beautiful pattern. She was knitting it a couple of episodes ago in her podcast. So beautiful. That's one that I really want to knit as well, actually. And we've had another donation of some patterns of the winner's choice, which is just lovely. The generosity of people is just overwhelms me. It's just lovely. So yes, I'll update the page. I think I'll probably put some little prize packages together so that I don't have to post out lots and lots of things because it does get really expensive. But I think a prize package will be a lovely thing to receive. So I'll update the page with the prizes. Just need to get organised and do that, but just know that there are lots and it's very exciting. So yes, we also have the other patterns and the Drakensberg gift set from Sally Jane of Pink Hair Girl Knits, and we have the bag from Fondant Fibre, the mini skeins from the Knitting Goddess, very exciting, the stitch markers that are being donated, the winner's choice of stitch markers. So yeah, very, very exciting stuff, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else you're making. Remember to use the hashtag LittleAlongCal on Instagram so that we can all have a look at each other's little along projects. Yeah. So, cup cozy swap. That is getting closer to happening now, which is very exciting. I'll have the thread up soon. I don't want to commit to a time because I'm just a bit all over the place, but soon. And yeah, I'm very excited about it. So we'll make, yeah, if you want to be involved in the cup cozy swap, then sign up in the thread, and you'll just need to say whether you're willing to ship internationally and whether you have any allergies that your partner should know about. And then we'll make cup cozies and send them, and maybe include a postcard of where you live and your favourite tea bag or something like that. Just, we're going for little packages so that they're not expensive to post, but something that will be just lovely for your partner to receive and open. So that's going to be really nice. I'm excited about that. So I think that's everything I had to share with you today. I am really, really pleased that you came and watched. Thank you so much. Do come and join the Ravelry group if you would like to. Join in with the Little Along. And I'll look forward to seeing you again next week. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much to everyone who's donated prizes for the Little Along. It's just wonderful. So yes, have a wonderful week and I will see you soon. Bye.